Sandra stood in the kitchen, drying a plate that felt foreign in her hands, listening to the final instructions from her daughter-in-law, Jessica. "We won't be needing you this time, Mom," Jessica said, her voice dripping with false sweetness. "Just make sure you leave the house clean for when we get back." Her son, Mark, just stared at his phone, oblivious, as his wife treated his mother like the hired help in the very home Sandra had bought and paid for. For years she had endured these small indignities, shrinking herself to fit into the corners of her own life. But as the front door clicked shut, leaving her in the heavy silence, something inside Sandra didn't just crack, it shattered. This time, however, it wasn't pain that filled the void, but a cold, clear resolution. She walked to the small guest room she now occupied, her own master bedroom having been claimed by Mark and his family. From a dusty box, she pulled out the deed to the house. The paper was worn, but the name on it was crisp and clear. Sandra Miller. Her name. Shaking, not with fear, but with a forgotten strength, she dialed the number of her estranged sister, Carol. "Carol, it's me. I need help." 15 years of silence had passed between them, but her sister's response was immediate. "Sandra, what happened?" "I'm ready to get my life back," Sandra said, her voice firm for the first time in years. They had 7 days before Mark and his family returned. 7 days to reclaim a lifetime. Friends, if you've ever felt like you've lost your voice in your own life, I hope you'll subscribe to our channel, Voices of Auntie Sandra, because what happened next is a reminder that it's never too late to speak up. Carol, a sharp and no-nonsense lawyer, arrived the next day. She didn't waste time on past grievances. She saw the situation for what it was, a hostile takeover of her sister's life. Their first call was to a locksmith. As the old locks were drilled out, it sounded like chains breaking. Next, they went to the bank. Sandra was horrified to learn that Mark had an active card for her savings account. They immediately canceled it and moved her money to a new secure account. Carol then had security cameras installed. "Protecting what is yours is not betrayal, Sandra," she insisted. "It's justice." The day Mark and Jessica returned, the house was transformed. Sandra's old rocking chair was back in its rightful place in the living room. The scent of lavender filled the air. They tried their key, confusion turning to anger when it wouldn't turn. Sandra opened the door, her sister standing calmly behind her. "Mom, what in the hell is going on?" Mark demanded, his eyes wide with shock. "I've changed the locks, Mark," Sandra said, her voice steady. "This is my house, and I need my space back. Your things are packed." The confrontation was uglier than she could have imagined. Jessica screamed, accused, and threatened. Mark was torn, but years of enabling his wife had weakened his resolve. They left, but their campaign of manipulation was just beginning. The texts started that night, filled with guilt and accusations about abandoning her grandchildren, Leo and Mia. Then came the social media post from Jessica, a carefully crafted story of a selfish, mentally unstable mother who had kicked her loving family to the curb, with complete a sad-looking photo of the kids. The comments poured in, condemning Sandra. Please, if you're enjoying this story, take a moment to hit the like button. It helps stories like Sandra's reach others who might need to hear them. Guided by Carol, Sandra refused to engage in the public spectacle. Instead, she saw a psychiatrist who provided a signed evaluation confirming she was of perfectly sound mind. Carol posted the document in the family group chat, silencing the whispers and accusations instantly. The true turning point came a week later. The doorbell rang, and there stood 12-year-old Leo and little Mia, alone. They had taken an Uber with birthday money. "We ran away, Grandma," Leo said, his voice trembling. "I heard them. Mom told Dad they were going to tell everyone you were crazy so they could put you in a home and keep the house." The confession, recorded on Carol's phone, was the final piece of evidence. When Mark and Jessica arrived, furious, they were met not with an argument, but with their own son's words. The shame on Mark's face was undeniable. For the first time, he saw the depth of the poison in his marriage. The next day, he called Sandra. He had filed for divorce. He was broken, ashamed, and finally ready to take responsibility. "I'm so sorry, Mom," he sobbed. "I forgive you, son," Sandra said softly. "But forgiveness doesn't mean we go back. It means we start over, differently." Months later, peace had settled over Sandra's home. Mark was in therapy, working a steady job, and rebuilding his relationship with his children and his mother, slowly, honestly. Sandra, with the help of a young nursing student she now rented a room to, started a small craft workshop in her garage. Her house was once again filled with laughter. One afternoon, Mark visited holding a small lavender plant. "I know you like the smell," he said. "I want to bring you something that grows." As they sat in the quiet living room, he asked, "How did you find the strength to do it all, Mom?" Sandra smiled, looking at the home she had reclaimed. "The strength was always there, honey. It was just buried. But I realized I had never been weak. I had just been waiting for my own permission to bloom." Thank you for listening to this story. Please leave a comment below and let me know which part resonated with you the most. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next story of strength and second chances. Remember, it's never too late to reclaim your home, not just the one with walls, but the one inside your heart.